And see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. See you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. What's the point of putting your money into it if it's not gonna last? Always ask. There's many competing for world dominance. I believe China has all the cash. Today we're talking about Bitcoin. Today we're talking about Theta coin. Today we're talking about chip chain coin. If you wanna know how much blood, see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It came up as a scam of some sort, token that's trying to change the world. One thing I don't think I mentioned, they'd start with good intentions. Today we're talking about Mcaffe coin. Today we're talking about Aurora coin. Today we're talking about Aeon coin. If you wanna know how much blood, see you in the future, very good. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Don't want us to ride in the streets. Buy that Bitcoin cryptocurrency. See you in the future, very good. Subscribe. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Subscribe. See you in the future, very good. Subscribe. Not a scam, go buy some Cardano. Is this gonna last? That 10-year mark. In short time, it came up in the cards. Tracking goods from point A to point B. New cycle with cryptocurrencies. Because it's fairly unknown to the majority of people on the planet Earth. Most people barely know what an Ethereum is. Hi, this is Sacred Bounder, where I do predictions of the future. If you like me to do prediction field, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder that we do lives here at Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Central, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. So make sure you mark down your calendar, especially with that little bit of a time change on the Tuesdays and Thursdays. Let's get started. We got lots of people in the chat already talking, which is awesome sauce, as some people would say. Let's get into the first thing for us Canadians. Unfortunately, we have Mr. Trudeau at the helm. Very interesting things. Let's have a good read on Mr. Prime Minister Trudeau. Okay, for the next, Trudeau needs to go. And I think he's going to be going very, very soon. Okay, there was a alternate future that I was picking up when I was meditating one day, and that he may get one more kick down the of the position, as it were. I guess people haven't been pissed off enough at him yet, so let's just have a look. Makes me gobsmacked, makes me speechless on Mr. Trudeau and everything that he's doing. He's basically Hitler light, as you can call him, I guess. So Trudeau in the next year or two. Let's look at the next 4 years time period with Mr. Trudeau here in good old Canada. Of course, now we got to have that Canadian content. So here we go, Mr. Trudeau. We got some Canadian content for that C11 bill that just was passed through. I was talking to some people at a party we were at last night for the crypto nuts. We had a gathering and we were talking about this issue going forward. Um, they don't like Trudeau either. So it was an interesting night of conversation. So let's look at his health for the next 4 years. It seems it's very shaky. Um, there's a lot of worry that I'm picking up from him that everything that he's been doing, he's not actually realizing that it's the wrong thing to do. He's under the illusion that everything that he's doing is the correct thing to do. Yeah, if you remember, villains never ever think that they're the villain. Okay, villains always think they're doing the right thing for everybody else. Okay. And this is the case for Mr. Trudeau. So he doesn't understand that why people are against everything that he's been doing. Okay. Um, and this is leading into his worrying about everything that's going on around him. So now he's acting out emotionally and trying to get back at all the people that are against anything that he does or says. And we're seeing this in fine fashion every day on the news here in Canada. And you might get a little snippet if you're anywhere else on the planet about his behavior. And it's all basically caving in on himself. So this is starting to wane on his health situation, okay? Because he doesn't understand why people are against him, okay? He's been following that Klaus Schwab guy around and thinking he's the all that. Anyways, Mr. James Bond villain guy, if you know who that is. So that is coming into his health situation. Even now, he gets COVID every other day, and he puts himself into isolation so he can hide from the public, and an excuse to hide from everybody, basically. His finances seem to be okay. I think a lot of the things that he was trying to cover up on the money that he was doling out and getting back in is going to be even more of that information is going to be coming to the surface. Okay. And and a lot of people are going to be very pissed off at that. But I don't think it's going to be enough people that are going to be pissed off at it. Okay. So this is where I'm picking up that he may get one more term. Wonderful. But then there's the other alternate feature that I'm saying that he's going to be booted out, and it's going to be Jean Palabert, Pierre Palabert, which is the likely person to be the next person in power of Canada. And he seems okay. He was a follower of Klaus Schwab and all of them. Wonderful people out there. Wink, And now we're seeing in our news that he's Pierre Palabert is trying to distance himself away from Klaus Schwab and that gang of thugs. So his money is okay. There's going to be some downturns in his financial system that he's not going to be being paid by many of the companies that are now suing him. And this is being picked up in the cards as well for the next 4 years, that many of the companies that were kind of going along with his escapades are now turning against him. And this is something that I had been saying for quite some time, that COVID and all this nonsense is going to be eliminated, not by the people, because politicians don't care what we think. It's big money that makes the difference. So all these companies are coming back to him, like WestJet, which is a big Canadian airline, and Air Canada, and many of those other ones. And they sent lawyers to explain the situation to him. And now we're going to be seeing many of the big other big corporations doing the same thing. And we are seeing a lot of victories on their side for us going forward to get rid of a lot of this nonsense going forward. The people that are surrounding him, a lot of people are leaving his side and jumping ship. This is going to be in the future. It's not evident right now, okay, but I'm picking up by the fall time, a lot of people that were endeared to him are going to be jumping ship and moving on to other people to be following them instead of Mr. Trudeau, because they know the ship is sinking and they're going to be running for it. It's a very interesting time in Canada with Mr. Trudeau. Even now the banks are now complaining to him that all of his spending is putting us in a really tight spot here in Canada overall. Okay, and they're going to have to raise the interest rates just to compensate for many of the wild spending that Trudeau was doing. People are asking, will interest rates go down? No, they're going to go up, because if they go too much down, the whole system collapses. If it goes up too quickly, the whole system collapses. And I don't think the banking system here in Canada, which is heavily regulated by one company, okay, it's not like in the United States where there's millions of different varieties of banks. All banks in Canada are pretty much regulated by one entity. Okay, you can pretty much call them one company here in Canada, and they're not so happy anymore. So they're going to have to marginally raise that interest rate to keep our heads above water, or the whole house of cards is going to be collapsing. Okay, it has to be done. Okay, you can't keep spending money and expecting the economy to keep going. Okay, it will collapse if you keep doing that. And this is why we talk about cryptocurrencies here on this channel, because it's very, very important. It's more than just a way of making money, it's a way of survival for the future. Okay, it was originally built to deal with the things that we're going through right now. Okay, and people seem to lose sight of that. So that's that. I don't think he's going to get another term, but there is an alternate reality that I've been picking up, that he may get one more. Okay, which is not going to be any good. And if that does happen, the entire of Canada is probably going to be falling flat on its face and probably joining forces with the United States even more. Okay, well, that was an interesting look at Mr. Trudeau. His health is waning, his finances are meh, and he's going to be sued to Kingdom Come, and the people are going to be leaving him in the next couple months. Okay, thank you for that question. Let's move on to the next thing. Roe versus Wade overturned. Ooh. This shouldn't have been a big thing. It was more smoke and mirrors. It was more of a psyop, as you call it, to keep people's attention away from the actual issues of the day. It's like the open carry permits in the United States as well. It should always be up to the person for Roe v. Wade, that it should be the person's decision themselves to undergo that sort of thing. But let's have a quick look in the cards, see where it's going to be headed. I knew it was going to fall flat on its face when I first saw it, because the United States is all about freedom, It's ingrained into the people there. So let's see where it's going to go next. So we're going to have a little bit of problems. I think it's a little in the United States, a little um, looting and running around crazy, like burning things and stuff like that. It is a small thing in the United States, I guess. It seems that the cards, that health of that situation seems to be falling flat on its face. I don't think it's going to be gaining that momentum over a long period of time, not like the BLM and all that sort of thing that was going on 2 years ago, a year ago, which kept on going and going and going. I think it's going to be stopping in a couple months or so, which seems like a long time, but in the reality is not a long time. So people are going to be calming down, and I think the left side of the spectrum is going to be angry about the situation. I don't know why they're angry, but it's about freedom of choice on this one topic. But they're going to be doing all the things, and which is going to be pretty much be petering out in the next 2 to 3 months time, uh, if that. And there's going to be a lot of turmoil and a lot of other things. And news is going to be covering this just to keep you distracted from all the actual problems that are going on around the planet, especially in the financial situation that we're all going through at this time. You have to remember a lot of things that the news focuses on are distractions, okay, to keep you distracted from what's actually going on with the financial system, which is the bigger news story, okay, and that's going to be causing much more turmoil in the long run than Roe versus Wade situation, or open carry, or any of those problems will do with famine and starvation and people being homeless and all that sort of thing is probably going to be hurting more people than Roe versus Wade in the long run. The financial part, I think they're going to be overturning many more things along these lines. And I think that money is going to be redirected into more important things to keep us moving into the future, especially the United States. When everything swings right, it's going to swing heavy to the right for the next little while. And so those finances are going to be redirected to much better causes and things that need to be done to keep everything going. Okay. The people that are involved in this, there's some white hat activity with this, which is probably why it happened the way it did. There was some white hat activity behind the scenes, and the black hats are basically running away from this situation. There's less and less things that the black hats have control over anymore, and they're losing faith and face in the disruption of everything. They thought they were going to get all this stuff, and it didn't happen. We're going to see a lot of the black cats stepping back from many of the things that they were trying to implement in the world as the white hats start to take over more and more. And there's going to be a military action of some sort. I'm feeling not civil war, but military taking over a government. It's going to start in one of the states. I can't see which one, but one of the states in the United States is going to be taken over by the military and having all of those politicians kicked out of there. And it's going to be a domino effect in the future. And this is going to be in the next 2 to 3 year time period where we're going to see this military action. And it's Uh, it's going to come subtly. Okay. Um, so there's that. I think there's going to be. We were talking about this last night. There's going to be some type of military action, and all the other countries are going to start to do the same thing as we start to get rid of all of this nonsense that's going on around the world and start focusing on the more important things to keep our society going. Okay, so that was an interesting look at Roe versus Wade. It'll be around for a short time, but they'll move on to something else very quickly. Theta coin. Somebody's asking about Theta coin. More of a lighter topic, I guess, to look into. Lots of questions in the chat, I see, and we'll get to that momentarily. So for the next little while, this is going to be a reading for the next year or so for Theta. There's going to be some huge changes. I think I was already saying that in a past reading that there's going to be some huge readings or changes within the Theta protocol, the way they're going to be doing things. I think to get out to more people and have more people use it, we're going to see huge changes within the platform itself. I was there a couple of days ago, and it's still a little not user friendly, and I think I can figure out how to use it, but it's not really beneficial to me quite yet to start using. And there's a little bit of head scratching on how I was going to implement the Theta TV, the Theta coin. And this is going to, that whole situation is going to affect the price of the coin. Okay, T fuel and the Theta coin and all that sort of thing. Because you need something with ease of use. Okay, right now it's kind of shaky on its usability. Okay, it does work. I was at the Theta TV site. You can watch videos and stuff. It's mostly the live situation, so I might have it here live at some point once I finally figured out how to implement it. Okay, just another place you can watch my videos in the grand scheme of things. So the health of it, I think it's going to be collapsing a tiny bit in the next little while. And there's going to be an abrupt change on how they're going to be implementing some of the things that are part of the Theta TV. The coin itself is going to take a hit because of non-usability, okay, for the next little while. So this is where they're going to have to pick a direction. I think they're going to be picking the right direction and move on from there. The financial part is kind of lackluster for the next little while. Once they sort this sort of thing out for the near future, it won't take that long, relatively. It'll be a year or so until they figure themselves out and move on to the next thing. It's much, much better than it was when I first looked at Theta TV. It was like, how do you use this thing? But I think it's going to get more and more user friendly as we go on. The people that are involved in it, there's a lot of people moving on to other projects and new people coming into the situation to replace those people to bring the project further and further along. So the price is going to be a little lackluster. There's going to be some good buying opportunities for the next little while. And it's going to carry on, but with many new changes to their platform. Okay, thank you for that. Solana, everybody was asking. Dark was asking about Solana, and we were talking about Solana last night. That it's something that shouldn't be, really. They've been lucky that they had the support from the fans of the Solana coin. because it keeps collapsing every other day. It has a 51% attack and has to be shut down and redone and all this sort of thing. Now, was it Solana or was it another coin that Dark was talking about?
Solana.
Solana?
Yeah.
Okay. Now he was asking the question, will it explode in price in the next little while? Yes, it's going to be exploding. Everybody's going to think that it's okay until they have their next 51% attack, which won't be for another week or two, and something's going to happen and they're going to be collapsing again. Blah, 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 blah. I know why people are interested so much in this cryptocurrency. It's a good one. Looks good on the outside, but once you get deeper into it, you're like, ew. They better fix a lot of that stuff and broaden their thing. But yes, it's going to be rising quite quickly in the next little while, and then something's going to happen, and it's going to go again. So get it while it's hot, and if you're a good trader and know how to do the things, 25% rise from where it is now, and then put your sell and gain your money that way if you are able to. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, don't do that. Okay, long term, they will survive, which is incredible. But they are going to be bringing out something that will prevent many of these 51% attacks where they don't have to shut everything down again. But any serious cryptocurrency person is probably going to look at it and go, ugh, from what they're going to be doing. It's going to be really heavily centralized, which is not a good thing for any type of cryptocurrency. But if you're only in it for the money, it's a good one. Okay. There is some gains to be had with it. Even now, the underlying methodology of it is not the greatest. What was the other question he was asking?
It's going to drop tonight or tomorrow?
Tonight or tomorrow. Dropping. It's going to go a little longer than the couple of days rise, and then it's going to be dropping it very quickly soon after that. And when I say soon, it's probably within a week or two when it does do that. Okay, so hopefully that answers all of Dark's questions for today. You can ask more, don't worry. Okay, let's move on to Charles. Does the wife need a knee operation or therapy? First question is, have you seen a doctor? You should always see your doctor. It's just a legal thing that psychics have to say. I can't prescribe anything. Okay? 'Cause I'm not a doctor. Even though I can see things. Yeah, always make sure get that situation done by a professional to have at least a look at it. I do see an operation coming up for that, then therapy as well, which is understandable. Don't leave it too long. It's something to do with the cartilage not going in the right direction. Sometimes a little bit of cartilage can break off and move on to other parts of the body. So you want to have that looked at. And then after that, there's going to be a lot of therapy after that. So always get your doctor's opinion on these things, or many doctors. Okay. But I am seeing an operation coming up for the wife very soon. Okay. Thank you for that. Prasaga. Interesting. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sure, we can have a look at Prasaga. Coin hasn't come out yet. Don't know if it's going to do well. Okay. So, Prasaga. Sounds like a video game almost. Prasaga. Yeah, we got the Three of Swords on the health of this one. It looks like it may not. It'll get out of the starting gate, but I think there's going to be some things that are hindering it for whatever reason. We got that Three of Swords, which is your goal, and something coming between that, and that would be this coin. Yeah, the cards aren't that favorable for this one going forward. It'll probably get through the thing. You buy all the coins at really cheap price, and then it's going to go right up there when it hits the exchanges, and then happens every time with brand new coins. Okay, there's that, but I don't think it's going to do anything much more after that. Okay, so if you have a little bit of money, maybe put it in that financial advice, of course. He says that's all I need. Okay, so when it does hit the exchanges, if you know anything about cryptocurrencies, especially the ICOs and all that was a big thing back in the day, it goes on the exchange, the price goes poof, and then 5 seconds after, poof. So that's basically a pump and a dump. Yeah, you got the thing. But if you're not skilled at that sort of thing, don't do that. If you know what you're doing, cool. But if you're not, don't do it. I know a lot of people who made lots of money doing that. Okay, but they knew what they were doing, and they knew how to set up the buys and the trades and all that sort of thing. But after that, I don't see it really moving on beyond anything amazing. Okay, so there you go, Dark. He can make some quick money on that one. Hello, Andre. Will AOA Aurora chain crypto reach 50 cents US in the next 6 to 12 months? Okay. I think we had this one already, didn't we? Aurora?
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Was it Dilly that asked that question? Is he testing me? That's okay. I can't remember what I said about it, so we'd have to rewind all the videos and see what I said. Because once I give the information, it's yours to do whatever you want with it. I don't remember many of the readings I do, because I'd go crazy if I did, especially with all the readings I do for people around the planet. There's little things that I do remember, but to remember all that, I would probably go crazy. So the 50 cent thing, no. They will survive that situation of the 6 to 12 months. It'll be around in some form. It won't be one of the most amazing coins, but it'll be around for quite some time in one form or another. Okay, there's a lot of coins that do that. I don't think it's going to be a huge coin, but it's going to be around in some form. 5-10 years. Nah, I don't think it's going to get to that 5 to 10 year period for that cryptocurrency. Okay, thank you, Dilly. Will a Republican win the U.S. election? You mean the presidency? If it's the presidency, it'd probably be. Me and the wife keep picking up John DeSantis or Joe DeSantis or whatever his name is. He's saying yes. Trump is going to. I'm for some reason I'm not. I'm picking up that he is putting in his bid to run, but the wife keeps saying it's the good looking guy. Trump isn't good looking. Well, I don't think he's good looking. So,
No.
Ron DeSantis, thank you. And that'll be the next president of the United States, which is a good thing. He's not perfect. It's what you guys deserve in the United States. Okay, to move you guys forward. Okay, thank you for that.
Okay.
Stream died.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay?
It's back.
Okay. Dark's having trouble in the Outback.
That was mine too.
That was yours too?
Yeah.
Hi, Andre. Is there a floor price level you would avoid buying BTC? At BC, people couldn't get their crypto off exchanges. Well, if it goes below $600 Canadian, probably wouldn't buy it at that price. Just reading the comment. First off, never ever leave your cryptos on an exchange. One. Okay. Always put it on a cold wallet if you can, especially if you have tons of it, or unless you are in the middle of a trade. Okay. Yeah, there wouldn't be any level that I wouldn't buy at. We already know the future of Bitcoin, so at any price, it's always a good price to buy Bitcoin. So, and that change is going to be coming very soon, where everybody, oh, Bitcoin's going down, blah, 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 blah. But you talk to people from other parts of the world, and it's the super duper thing because their own currency is so bad that Bitcoin is much, much better. I talked to somebody from Greece, and I don't have to explain to them that Bitcoin is the thing. They already know it's the thing because their own currency sucks. Or I talked to somebody from, Brazil or any of those countries. They already know Bitcoin is the thing. Okay? It's North Americans that we have the most trouble explaining this concept to people because they haven't went through that situation quite yet. We are going through that right now. Okay? And it's going to be unfortunately, it's going to be a rude awakening for many Americans and Canadians of what's going to be happening in the next little while. And then we're going to say Bitcoin is the thing. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Love. Hey, we're talking about love. I like talking about love. And usually the first question I ask the client is, are you talking to people? No, I stay in the house. Unless it's a delivery guy or person, and you're not meeting new people, you might want to do that. It kind of works in that law of attraction, law of action thing. But let's do that 3-card reading for you on life future love relationships. There's going to be a past relationship that's going to be coming back, first of all, and then you're going to be enjoying that for a short period of time, and then that's going to be leading into something else that's going to be more beneficial to you, and getting out of the house, which helps, and meeting new people and making new friendships and relationships in that situation. And I don't care where you go, find people. Just go out and find people, and usually they come find you. When you're too focused on that situation, it kind of stops that situation. So if you're too much thinking about that, it kind of stops it. And for us guys, it makes us look desperate. People don't like that. So go about your day, meet new people, and that person will start to, like my wife did to me, slap me in the back of the head and go, "Hey." And that's how you find love. It's when you're not focusing on the thing. That's when everything starts to fall into place. I know, law of attraction, law of action. You have to get out there, but you can't dwell your mind so much on that situation that it becomes the thing of every day, because it makes your vibration very ugh. So just go about your day, do your things, become busy, and that person will come to you. And there's going to be an old relationship that comes to you. You're going to have fun with it, and then that's going to be leading into something else. Okay, hopefully that helps you. Have you done a reading on cult before? It's a great project in crypto. I don't think so. What's that?
You have.
Oh, I have?
I don't know when, but you have.
Okay. The wife says I have. I can't remember what I said about it, but it's probably years, long time ago.
Fresh reading.
Is that fresh reading? So it's cult or cult?
Cult.
Cult? Okay. The first card I pull.
Tower.
Ooh, death. So it doesn't mean the collapse of the entire coin. It means an abrupt change. So when you fall over dead, that's an abrupt change. Can be looked at that way. Interesting. Let's see all the other cards that go along with that to give a bigger picture of cults. Certainly, it was kind of a lackluster coin for whatever it was. And the cards are showing that again. It's not going to be very healthy cryptocurrency going forward. It may be a nice doohickey for the next little while, but I don't think it's going to have any huge lifespan, and it's not going to be taking over the whole entire cryptocurrency market. It's going to have a small niche that it's going to be fulfilling, and that's represented in the price being lackluster. Nothing exciting happening with it after its initial launch. And I think a lot of the people that are part of the cryptocurrency probably have already moved on and gone into other things, and it's being heavily regulated for some, or being viewed by some outside force going, "Hey, what is this?" I don't think it's a good thing. So it's a cryptocurrency that I would not get involved in, really, for any future thing. It might have some capability of nice fast money if you're trading it, if it does this. But outside of that, I don't think it has any length of time to it. Okay, thank you for that question. How will Digibtye do next year? I think it's going to do well. But let's have a closer look. What's the David say? Got to be a player like Andre. I'm a player.
I don't know. Are you a player?
I'm totally oblivious to that sort of thing. The wife had to hit me in the back of the head to clue me in to what she wanted. Huh? I'm psychic to a point. But when she started chasing me, I didn't really figure it out for some time. But let's move on. Digibtye. One of my favorites. One of the wife's favorites. DGB. We yell. DGB. So it's fun to say. So that's why we like it. And it has many benefits to that cryptocurrency. And it's going to be one that survives everything that's going to go on in the next little while. We all heard the story of what's going to be happening very, very soon. It's going to be surviving that. It's going to be thriving in that. And it's going to be taking up space that is necessary for what it does. Okay. They were trying to overcome Bitcoin and all that sort of thing. But it has a small town feel to the crypto, even though it's not a small town feel. And I think it's going to do very well into the future because of that feel it has, the ease of use. Okay. And I think the price is going to be a little going sideways for the next little while. It's just going to be following that Bitcoin price, and everybody's attention is going to be on the bigger coins and on the bigger issues of the day for the next year. But overall, I believe it's going to do just fine. So if you're thinking of getting into Digibtye, it's probably a good thing to do. Okay, it's going to do its thing, and it's going to go well. Okay, not financial advice, of course, but it's been a coin that's been around for quite some time, and it's still going strong. Okay, thank you for that question. Am I gonna catch a knife, Andre?
He wants to know if he's going to get the bottom of BTC.
Oh, I can throw knives at you and see if we can catch it. Okay. We were talking about that yesterday. What will the bottom be for BTC? And everybody's saying that it's probably going to get to 20,000. Of course, I'm in a room full of people that do trading every day, so they understand this sort of thing. I don't trade every day or trade ever really. I just generally I buy the coin, I sit on it, and when it hits the top, we might take a little bit of profit. Otherwise, we just sit on it, right? Because we know the future is going to be all cryptocurrency. So why play around, right? So they're saying 20,000 Canadian, so whatever that is in American, seems to be that bottom point. And whenever it goes to 19,000, you start to see it pump back up by all the elites buying it. So this should be telling you something. When all the elites are buying, it's a good indicator of where things are going to be going into the future. Okay? So if you keep it at that 18,000, and you're going to have to translate that into American or whatever money that you're using, that it'll be the bottom probably 1920. Okay. Yeah, the bottom is in. Maybe go down a tiny bit more. Oh, Canadian. Yes. So whatever that is in American, probably what's it in American? That's 18, something like that. But yeah, you're gonna, if you think of it that way, you're gonna be catching that knife, because it's gonna go like this for the next little while. $19,000 Canadian is $14,739 United States dollar. There you go. So I guess it'll go down to 14,000. But the guys were realizing that every time it starts to go down to that 19,000 Canadian, everybody rushes in to buy. So that must be a bottom or a support line for the crypto BTC, and I don't think it's going to go below that. I think we've hit that bottom. Okay, might go down a tiny bit more, but not by much. And then we're going to see a launch from there as more and more elites buy in. Unfortunately, they don't do theirs on the exchanges. They do it over the counter, so it doesn't affect the price of BTC on the exchanges. Okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Was John Mcaffe murdered? I'll ask him. And he says no. Let's throw some cards down as well.
And if so, what for?
He was getting too close to the truth. He was always a promoter of BTC for the longest time. Then he switched, and then now he was talking about other things, and then he went a little cuckoo, even more so than he was. I think he was getting too close to the truth of what was going on, and that's why he had to leave this realm. But let's have a look at the cards. Yeah, he was getting too close to the actual truth of the things, and it's something that we take for granted now. Anyone who's a truther, yeah, he's getting too close to the mark, and I think he had to be taken care of by probably Hillary Clinton and many of those wonderful people out there. He was correct about many of the things that he was talking about in the crypto space, and a lot of people listen to him too much, and I think they had to take care of that situation. Okay. Thank you. Is Dogelon Mars going to pump and later dump? Is crazy, like 30 times from now. Now we talked about the Elon Mars going to pump. I think people have kind of gotten tired of that situation. It might pump a tiny bit, but not to the amount that they're hoping for. Because not a couple of days ago, Elon Tech tweeted something and nobody really paid attention to it. So I think it's something that people are starting not to listen to anymore, because he can pump a coin like crazy, as we've seen in the past. And he was hoping with his, I guess this is his own coin, He's hoping that it would pump, so getting everybody into a new cryptocurrency. Why doesn't he just buy Doge and pump that again? Um, so the answer to that question is uh, not really. It's going to be a lot of lackluster situation. A lot of things that Elon's going to be doing in the future and present. It's going to be like to the majority of the people that listen to him because they're going to be focused on other things. Okay. And if it does pump, it's going to be very, very quick, up and down. And if you can catch that falling knife, awesome. But if you can't, I wouldn't get into that. Okay. Thank you. Goldman Sachs buying Celsius. Okay. This will probably be one of the last ones. Readings. We're getting close to that hour. For whatever reason, they're going to be trying to bail Celsius out there because I think that they had a lot of that their money in that situation. The Goldman, yeah, they are buying it, and that's probably why they're doing all the nefarious things behind the scenes by using your cryptocurrencies to buy other investments, and it tanked. This is why they tanked it, or why it tanked, is they were doing huge leveraging on everything, and when everything fell down on its face, that's what you get with Celsius falling from grace. So it's one that I would never get involved in because they're doing tactics that brought down the market in 2008. Everybody was leveraging everything, and then when it fell hard. Okay, we don't. I guess people don't learn from history. Okay, so yeah, they are buying it. Can do one more.
I got some 3 cards.
Oh, some 3 cards.
Yeah.
Will my unit be extended this deployment rotation? Oh, okay. Yeah, they made this decision to carry on with what they were doing. I think there's some white hat activity that you're going to be involved in some way. So you're going to have a bit of an extended stay. Not by much, but it's going to be a short term where you're going to be holding on to where you are at the moment. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. And thank you, Dark, for the super chat. When will I get my son get his games designer job? Okay. Seems that there's some confusion going on around that situation if he's not putting his energies fully into that situation. And it once he starts to make up his mind, it will start to happen. I think he may be putting his energies into other things that may not help him with getting that situation. There's a bit of uncertainty on his behalf, so may slow down the process of him actually getting the games designer job. Okay. When? Maybe within the year from now. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out.
One more.
One more?
Last one.
Last one. Russell Rowe. David was saying, Audrey, can you perform a 3-card reading every minute of my life? I could. It costs you a bundle of money. Give me all your crypto. But that's okay. It was a joke. So let's see. 3-card reading for Russell Rowe. For some reason that you're tied to a situation that is not benefiting you. You're too closely attached to a situation that does not work. And it's to do with the emotional side of yourself. I think for this situation, it's time to console with somebody about an emotional issue that you may be going through. Once you let that out, I think everything else will start to unfold itself. Okay. And that'll be kind of the linchpin that you're going to have to go through to open up everything else, okay, in your life. Hopefully that helps you. Thank you. Okay, so that's it. Always thankful for the people that are coming out. It makes it so awesome. We didn't have Super Whittle Guy. Where did he go? Maybe on Tuesday. When we come back here, I just like saying his name. It's fun. If you like a personal reading with me, make sure you go to secondreadingsbyandre.com, where all that information is there. If you like to follow me on other platforms, because you never know with Canada and all that sort of thing, make sure you go to secondreadingsbyandre.com, where I have all the other places listed, just in case. Also, if you like to get and protect your cryptos in the best possible way, because you should never, ever leave them on an exchange. That's the first rule of crypto. We have a link to the Trezor website on our website. Takes you right to the store. So have a look into that. And we have many other new things on the website as well. So until Tuesday, just a reminder that we do lives here on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. Had to change because of work. And Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central. So make sure you mark it on your calendar. And make sure until Tuesday, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.